Breaking news, Donald Trump found guilty on at least 5, according to multiple US media reports, 5 of the 34 charges so far. The jury is going through all 34 cases against the former president one by one. Multiple US media agencies are reporting this morning in real time Donald Trump guilty of at least 5 of the 34 charges, alleging he paid hush money to former adult film star Stormy Daniels before the 2016 US election.
That verdict is still being read, and it could be some time till we have the full verdict on all of those charges. We do know the judge had earlier asked for there to be no reactions, no outbursts of any kind. Judge Juan Merchan said, please let there be no reactions, and he had warned the courtroom of that. Mr. Trump was leaning back in his chair at the time when the judge took the bench. He's there alongside his lawyer, so he is in court along with the prosecution. So we are getting that news that Donald Trump guilty of at least 5 of the 34 charges he has been accused of.
Donald Trump, the first person to serve as president of the United States who has been convicted of a crime, which in of
Massive
itself
reaction there outside the court there, Michael. Opponents of Mr. Trump hugging and cheering as they get that news from the courtroom. There's a huge crowd, including supporters of Mr. Trump, who've gathered outside that Manhattan courthouse. And just confirming, ABC News has confirmed Donald Trump has been found guilty of falsifying business records to cover up a hush money payment just before the 2016 election campaign. The jury delivering its verdict there in Manhattan after roughly a day and a half of deliberations. Some advice being sought over that time of deliberations bridge from the judge, but a comprehensive verdict delivered where the former president has been found guilty of those charges. So it's now up to all 34. We can now confirm former US president found guilty of all 34 charges that he falsified business records in paying hush money to former adult film star Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election. It is now up to Justice Juan Merchan to deliver his judgment. These charges, we stress, do bring with them jail time. And it remains to be seen where the judge goes on that. So huge news legally for Donald Trump, and we await to see how he responds politically, how he intends to use this verdict as the presumptive Republican presidential nominee with the US election only 5 months away. Let's go back to our reporter Jade McMillan outside the courthouse. We just got an audio feed of Jade only. Jade, good morning. Stunning news.
Yeah, Michael, apologies. There are so many people now pouring into this park across the road from the courthouse that signal is difficult, but that very historic news that Donald Trump, the former US president, has been convicted of all 34 counts against him of falsifying business records. The minute that this news started coming through, because the counts came through in bits and pieces at a time, there were people yelling on the opposite side of the park to where I am. The way that this is set up is sort of so that Donald Trump's supporters are largely kept to one side and Donald Trump's critics are on the other side. There were people in the area where Trump's critics have gathered screaming in celebration. I can see a sign saying Don the felon, Trump convicted. Someone else has a sign here saying Trump guilty. There are also a lot of Donald Trump's supporters here. They are in Make America Great Again hats. They are holding signs of their own. They will be very upset by this decision, as you would expect Donald Trump will be. We haven't heard from the former president himself yet, but we wait to hear for his reaction to this news that he has been found guilty on all 34 counts.
Massive news, Jade. We do expect, given he has been quite vocal outside the court as this case has gone on, we do expect, don't we, that he will make some statement when he comes out. If he's allowed out. I mean, who knows which way the judge will go?
You would expect so. I think there's been a pretty broad expectation that if Donald Trump was convicted today, that the judge would sentence him at a later date. Each of these 34 counts does carry a maximum prison term of 4 years, but the judge wouldn't necessarily have to sentence Donald Trump to prison. He would take a number of factors into account, including his lack of any prior criminal record. And so, again, there's been a fairly broad sense, although everybody is really guessing at this stage, that the former president could still avoid time in prison, that perhaps the judge would look at an option like probation.